Today was WandaVision Day. Tonight is comic book canon. That's right. It's Friday. We're here. We got WandaVision. We were hearing about WandaVision for so long. We were hearing about MCU for so long. We finally got MCU today, and I'm super excited. As you can tell, I'm going to bring in Chris. He's probably not as excited as I am, but we'll see. Chris.
I'm just chilling, man. So, my crappy internet connection has me moved, but, I'm feeling it. I'm up on the couch, getting all comfy, ready to just do this show.
Yeah, here's the deal. You did a 2-hour live stream on your channel, Captain Journos. Don't fall asleep. That's all I ask. I need my co-host.
I'm good. This is a second win. We're going. We're good.
Absolutely. Yo, we got a lot of fun people in the chat here today. I want to give a big shout out to the bearded one. This guy has gone back and viewed pretty much all of our previous episodes, which is 34. Tonight's 35. Commenting on all of them, man. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we also are grateful that we're able to get you by through your day when you're doing work and listening at the same time. Whatever. We really appreciate you guys listening. We got Tom Tormey in the house. We will have another Cosmic Comic history moment. We got Gomez, the comic collector. We got B. Schnurr. We got Dan De La Torre. We got, who else do we? I don't want to miss anybody. B. Schnurr, I said that. All right, we're doing well, man. Let's go. That's right, bearded one. Let's go indeed. All right, guys, here's the deal. WandaVision came out technically today, I guess midnight on Pacific time and 3 a.m. on East Coast time. A lot of you haven't seen it. We're going to talk about WandaVision, but we're going to leave that for the end of the show for Q&A. We would love to hear your thoughts on what you guys think about it. We don't want to feel like we're brushing over this, but we got a ton of news this week, like a ton, basically of MCU news. Pedro Windu, thank you for joining us, sir. Ton of MCU news. And the reason we have a ton of MCU news, leading up to a movie or a television show, you have press junkets. And usually people try and extract other projects out of the actors or producers. And we got a goldmine of information from Kevin Feige that we are just going to talk about. Super exciting stuff. So, again, we're going to get to WandaVision at the end of the show during the Q&A. We want to hear what you guys think about that. We also want to know what you guys got fresh from the comic book shop. So be ready to tell us what you guys picked up this week. It could be in the mail. It could be at your comic book shop. What have you. Your fresh pickups. Chris and I are going to share our top 5 with you guys today as well. So get those on the ready for us. So what does today's show entail? I'll tell you right now. We got the news, Cosmic Minute from Tom Tormey, fresh from the comic shop, the top 10 hottest comics of the week, and our Q&A. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. We really want to get the word out about the show because we love doing it and we love being here talking comic books and everything related to that with you guys every Friday night. With that being said, Chris, I'm going to hand it off to you because this, in my opinion, I haven't asked you, but in my opinion, this is the biggest news of the week. Go for it.
I absolutely agree 100% that this is the biggest news of the week. And man, it's a bombshell. And that's reports coming in, guys. Brace yourselves. I'm sure you all already heard that Chris Evans is returning to the role of Steve Rogers, Captain America. Like what? Okay. Here's what we know. Unnamed reports and sources reported by Deadline. All right. That's got me excited. Indicating that Chris Evans is indeed in talks with Marvel Studios to reprise his role as Steve Rogers. Now, details seem to have emerged that this would consist of one supportive role, probably similar to a RDJ Civil War / Homecoming type of vibe. And it could also lead into one more role on the table after that. This is really, really interesting on the fact that, look, I'm sure most of us really thought that he was done. I mean, he even said himself, he said, I had my time with it. He said something along the lines of, I think trying to bring the character back would be extremely risky, let him have his moment and all this stuff, right? But look, we're getting reports from Deadlines, comicbook.com reported on it. But then guess what, guys? Chris Evans takes to Twitter and tweets simply, news to me. Guys, what does it mean? What does it mean? And Jeff, you and I have our theories. I think either, we know Chris in real life can be he can be a bit of a comedian. He likes to kind of play games, and he has that type of personality. So that could be a situation here. Or I was like, well, maybe the cat was out of the bag when it shouldn't have been, and Chris is just covering his track, like, oh no, I don't know nothing about this yet. So I don't know, but for me, I don't know about you, I think this is official. I think that this is absolutely official because specifically for Deadline, I don't think they would have reported on it like they did in the context that they did if this was just some kind of rumor.
I agree 100%. Like, here's the thing. This is what he said. He after Endgame came out, he did many interviews, and he basically said like it was a perfect send off. I'm really happy with the way things ended. I'm not, I don't see myself returning, but if I do, it would have to be something that really meant something, and it had to be done very well. So if this is true, which I think it is true, I think we're in for something really cool. Really, really cool. And here's the deal with that, right? We have a bunch of projects coming up. We got, we all know that we have Secret Invasion coming up, right? With Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn back as Talos. So it could go a few ways here. You could see him in a Secret Invasion. Oh, Captain America's back. Oh, wait, no, he's a Skrull. Blah, that kind of a thing. However, we got the Multiverse of Madness as well. These two stories right here, you got the Hydra Cap and Secret Invasion. I could see him coming back in some sort of role in that regards. Another part of the multiverse or part of the Skrulls, I don't know, something completely different. I'm just excited that he will be reprising his role one way or another. And I hear what a lot of people are saying because I felt the same way. Like Tom Torme, I think it cheapens his sacrifice and happy ending in Endgame. I say, let's wait to see what this is all about, right? Let's see how this all shakes out because Marvel has rarely let us down. And this is not, I'm a fanboy, right? I could be geeking out and others can disagree, okay? I want to hear if people disagree, but it's very rare. There are 3 stinkers that I could think of from the MCU where they have really let us down. I don't see this happening, Chris. I don't.
I hear you. I agree. I don't think they would make this move if it wasn't something that would. And come on, Chris Evans knows. I mean, this is out of all the actors, I think this is one of those guys that knows that, like he said, he's only doing this if it's like this is it. Personally, I wouldn't like the Hydra cap just because I feel like we have more of that Steve Rogers cap to see. Not because it wouldn't be dope. I mean, I actually like that storyline. A lot of people hated it. I enjoyed it, but if we see him again and it's only for like a supporting role once or twice, I want to see the Cap that we know and love. My theory, Secret Invasion is a great theory too. And my theory is that we either see him, either somebody is able to, maybe because the multiverse opens up, starting with Doctor Strange, and maybe Nick Fury or the new Avengers or whoever those can go back to that alternate timeline that he created when he returns the stones, and they go find him and say, look, Cap, we need you. And then it doesn't ruin the end because after he saves the day again, he goes back to Peggy in like the 1950s or whatever it is, and it still ends up the same way.
I don't know, man. That would mess up the timeline in my opinion. I don't know. I think it's a wait and see. However, I wouldn't wait on these 2 issues, guys. I would pick them up if you guys are into the speculating game. There's a second print of Steve Rogers Captain America #1 where it says "Hail Hydra" on the cover. That's probably would be more desirable if this were to come true. And Secret Invasion is just blowing up now because it was announced as a series on Disney Plus. So exciting stuff, really exciting, and just shocking out of nowhere, surprising stuff. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I know you are as well, Chris. But Chris Evans isn't the only one returning to the MCU, which I find really interesting because I don't think much has been reported on this. But there are many outlets, and we're not talking the Deadline, we're not talking the Hollywood Reporters, we're talking lower tier outlets, but there's enough chatter going on where people are picking it up, like comicbook.com, which is a more kind of respected outlet, that Charlie Cox has wrapped production on Spider-Man 3. Yes, that is correct. Comicbook.com states rumors of Charlie Cox having a role in Spider-Man 3 have surfaced, but comicbook.com has learned that Cox has been on set for the upcoming Spider-Man 3 from Sony and Marvel Productions. Now, it's unclear who Cox will be playing, but guys, come on. If Charlie Cox is in an MCU film, are you going to tell me he's not going to be playing Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil? Like honestly, Chris, could you see him coming in as Joe Smith, your car salesman or something like? What else would Charlie Cox be playing in the MCU? Tell me.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing else. None. Nothing. Nope.
So, be sure. Going back to the other story, we missed this one. If they're bringing Evans back, it should be for Fantastic Four.
No, alternate reality where he's Johnny Storm.
Yeah, no, sorry, I got sidetracked here. We're talking Charlie Cox return to the MCU. But guys, tell me, again, this has not been confirmed. Although comicbook.com does have sources with all of the studios that they do talk to frequently. Again, Charlie Cox. If these reports are true, Charlie Cox is coming back as Matt Murdock, which means we will see Daredevil in the MCU, which also brings us to kind of a second point, the Defenders here, because Feige confirmed, he told the Hollywood Reporter everything is on the board. That's one of the fun things about the comics is that characters would appear and disappear and come and go. All of it is inspiration for the future. There are some great characters and actors from those shows. He's specifically talking about the Netflix shows. So, yes, we could see a return of the Netflix shows, and I would not be mad at any of those guys coming back. And that includes Iron Fist, right? Just hear me out. That includes Iron Fist. The way they ended season 2, I thought, like, okay, they're on track here. This is going to be good. That's what I have to say about that.
You know, I need his character to be, I need him to have a completely different demeanor. I don't know if that's the best way I could say it.
He wasn't a good actor. He was not good. Okay. But I liked what they did at the end of season 2, right? Sure, I liked how that played out. Now, Dan De La Torre, I understand. I don't want them coming back as the Defenders. I just want those characters. Yeah. I thought everybody's great. Kristen Ritter was great. Luke Cage was great. I thought all of them, obviously Matt Murdock, Elektra was fantastic. She was really good. Yep. Like, I would like to see those guys back in the MCU. Tom wants to see, a big screen Daredevil fight scene. That would be fantastic. Oh my God. Seeing that on the big screen. Absolutely. Those single shot Steadicam. Oh my gosh. Anyways. So that's that. Charlie Cox coming back to the MCU. Again, let's wait and see how this works because we only have to wait to the end of the year, December, when Spider-Man is scheduled to be released. Interesting. But you know what else is interesting? Some more casting news, Chris. What do we got?
Man, so I know, right? Like this is we get our first MCU taste today with being able to watch WandaVision, and then there's so many nuggets dropped. So basically, we got a casting call for Moon Knight. I know it's not a total confirmation for Oscar Isaac, but it's for Ethan Hawke. Man, who doesn't love some Ethan Hawke, man? So Hollywood Reporter states that he will play a lead villain. Which villain? I don't know. That's something to speculate on. There's been no official announcement for Isaac, like I said. But I'm just waiting for that to come. I really think that's solid in the books. But this just, again, another move by Sarah Haley Finn and team to really get the right people in these roles. And like I said, who doesn't like Ethan Hawke? Who doesn't love Ethan Hawke? I mean, what was my first like White Fang? Something that he did is early in his career that I watched when I was a kid. I mean, you can start from that point all the way, to Training Day, to some of the newer stuff he's done. I mean, everything he's done has been excellent. So I'm ready for this. The question is, like, who is he playing, though?
Yeah, I have no idea. And honestly, I like Moon Knight, right? I don't know much about his history. Bushmaster is his main, antagonist. So I don't think he's playing Bushmaster. I do think Bushmaster would be cool to have in the series. But God, the caliber of actors they're getting in this series, guys, the directors, the caliber of actors, the caliber of directors and producers that they're getting involved in all of these Disney Plus series. This is mind blowing. And again, seeing WandaVision, which was completely different than anything we've seen. Again, we are going to talk about that at the end of the show. Those who have not seen it yet can leave to avoid spoilers. We love you, but if you want to leave, you can leave, but we want you to stay here. We won't talk about it. But the quality, the ideas, the execution, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And this, again, casting an Ethan Hawke in Moon Knight is another point that you have an Oscar caliber actor joining a series that's just going to enhance the overall production. I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for it. But moving on from the Ethan Hawke news, we are going to get into the goal that what we were talking about. Again, WandaVision came out this week. They had a whole bunch of press junkets interviewing Kevin Feige, many outlets asking many different questions about what else to expect in the Marvel Universe. He did not disappoint. We have a lot of news here, so we're going to try and go rapid fire through just Feige himself. I mean, he delivered on quite a bit of things. That's right. Feige. Trust in Feige, everybody. We love us some Feige. He knows what the fans want. Absolutely. So, starting first, we are going to go with, where are we going to go? I don't have it. I don't have a lower third for this. But you know what we're going to do? I'll show you an image that we can all be excited about. That's right. Nova. Feige says Nova is coming. That's right. Talking to comicbook.com. Timing is relative, right? I think I'd been talking about Doctor Strange 8 years before that movie came out. Feige said, so immediate potential is relative, but clearly we are not shying away from the cosmic end of storytelling right in the sweet spot of the Nova Corps and Nova himself. That's right, Nova himself. But that covers two different characters because there are reports they're going to bring Sam Alexander and the original Nova, Richard Rider. Chris, that is exciting for all of us because characters that you love reading in the comics, you love seeing him as a team player, and New Warriors and Annihilation. He was, he's a big part of the Marvel universe. But to bring him into the MCU is exciting.
Yeah, I'm glad I completed the Volume 1 run when I did. Get your hand. I've been talking about getting that Nova #1, guys. So you still get it now before we get this official announcement. That'd be really great, man. Nova on top of Secret Invasion. We got some more nuggets for Secret Invasion as well. We talked about this a little bit when it was first announced and about how much are they going to stick to the comic books. Well, Kevin Feige has something to say to that. And he says, quote, well, there were more characters in the Secret Invasion comic series than there were in Endgame. So no, talking about if it's going to be exactly the same. It's not that, but it's very much is a showcase for Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn and tapping into the parental elements of the Secret Invasion comic series that was great with the twists and turns that took. So that's certainly our focus more than, say, can we cram in more characters in Endgame? So basically, I think what he's saying is, look, they don't need to take it to the scale of comic books. I mean, obviously, when you got comic books and these storylines that bring in all the characters, telling the story doesn't necessarily need to do that. And I think he's really saying, look, trust that this is really going to tell the similar story. We're going to pull from the root of the story, but we're going to focus on the characters that are needed and not try to drown it out just by having a bunch of cameos and people all over the place that don't need to be there.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, you can't have it inundated. You got to be able to follow a storyline. So this storyline was huge, and you're going to have to scale it down a little bit. Okay, next on the docket, Feige let IGN know that more Avengers films are going to be returning. That's right. Kevin Feige said that they will not be leaving the Avengers completely, that they will revisit the Avengers in some way, shape, or form down the road. That's it. That's the news. That's the nugget. We're happy to hear that. We're going to move on to the next thing, which is This one is super exciting. Go for it, Chris.
All right, guys. This is look, I want to know where Rob Liefeld is at right now. We need to get him on the phone and we need to say, Rob, I told you, you just needed to, smoke something, do something, chill out. Rob, you were wrong because Kevin Feige confirms Deadpool 3. And yes, in the MCU, it's going to be rated R. So yeah, Liefeld is somewhere eating his words right now. Feige confirms in an interview with Collider that Deadpool 3 is on its way and will be rated R. He states, quote, "It will be rated R and we are working on a script right now. And Ryan's overseeing a script right now." Ryan Reynolds, that is, of course, to see him overseeing the writing of this film. I can't wait. Feige also talked about not rushing the film, stating that it is not likely to begin production this year in 2021. They're wanting to make sure that they get it right. And obviously, this is big for the MCU to do under the Disney umbrella. Most likely, this will be the first R-rated MCU film. So, yeah, it's good to know that they're getting it rolling. But, yeah, hey, look, take your time. We got so much other stuff on the table. Happy to hear this, though.
Definitely. And again, there's a treasure trove of more news out there. We don't have time to cover all of the things that Feige said and all the press junkets, but I do want to address one comment that the bearded one had, and that is the cosmic side of the MCU needs to be good. I feel like that's a weaker area of Marvel, and that's where I think DC is strongest. I think that Marvel will be exploring more of the cosmic area. I mean, the first two things that we talked about were Nova, cosmic, Secret Invasion, cosmic as well, because you have the Skrulls. Now, you factor in there's going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy, also a Christmas special, as well as, Adam Warlock is coming. Chris is really hoping for Adam Warlock to come. That's an inside joke for those who don't get that. We're going to see way more of Marvel in terms of the cosmic, that cosmic area of their universe. And I understand what you're saying, the bearded one, that DC has a better cosmic kind of component to their comic books, but I'm excited to see the cosmic side of things from Marvel to get on screen, because of those Stan Lee Kirby runs with Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four, you name it, it is super exciting to see. All right, moving on for our next story. That's, again, guys, look up all of the news that Feige gave us. He gave a ton of interviews and a ton of fun things for us to just feed on and just speculate. Exciting stuff. But moving on from there, we have some DC news, a little bit of DC news. We don't want to leave them out. Again, Chris and I are fans of DC. We want to see them succeed, but they can't get out of the way of themselves. Okay, so we just got this week, and it was buried with all of the Marvel news. Again, WandaVision week. So the DC universe is all connected. That's right. The DC universe is all connected. According to Warner Brother chairwoman and CEO Ann Sarnoff, everything, she says, everything's connected now, and we're building a DC universe plan that's much more centrally connected but individually executed. I think it's really upstream in the planning that it all needs to come together so people can feel a pride of their efforts. I honestly don't know what that quote means. I don't know what she's talking about. Again, we covered what Hamada said, the DC Films president, 2 weeks ago, where his explanation was confusing as hell. Everything is connected makes sense. I'm going to dissect this quote here. Everything's connected, and we're building a DC universe plan that's much more centrally connected. I don't know what that means. But individually executed, I don't know what that means. I think it's really upstream in the planning that it needs to come together so people can feel. I don't know what that means, Chris. What does this mean?
Well, I taking the last part from what Hamada said that we touched on a couple weeks ago about him saying that, that Zack Snyder's Justice League, it leads to nowhere. It's a dead end road to nowhere, and it doesn't exist in the multiverse of things. Yet it sounds like she's saying, you know what? Chill. Zack Snyder, your work matters. Your work matters. Don't worry. It's individually whatever, but it's coherently, cohesively, blabbly, blabbly do. Like that's kind of, it's like I don't get it. I mean, I look at the totality of this as them saying we need something to ground ourselves on. We need something to compete. That Marvel had 12, 13 years of success, and now they're starting another multiverse. Our franchise has been such a shit show that we could just call it a multiverse. That'll give us good publicity to show that we're competing, but yet we're just going to call it that, and we're still going to do what we want to do individually because we don't know how to connect it all.
It's ridiculous. And again, to clarify here, she's talking everything from the films from Superman 1978, the Christopher Reeves classic, 1 and 2 Superman, Batman 1989, all the way leading up today. Apparently, they're all connected. But again, they contradict themselves because Zack Snyder, it came out saying Zack Snyder is not part of the DCEU. It's not part of this. It's just a one-off. We're going to just show what the director's vision was, and that's it. So it's just like, guys, get your shit together, because I'll tell you what, it comes down to one thing. And the bearded one, man, I'm quoting you a lot tonight, but you're right. DC needs a Feige. Poor Dan Didio. I don't know if Dan Didio got let go. I know he was a huge part of DC for a long time, but it comes down to they need a competent Feige. They need somebody, and there's been glimmers of hope, like first Wonder Woman film, decent. Aquaman, decent. The first Superman film I thought was great, but man, they need direction because they don't have any, and they have their executives contradicting each other, and it is an absolute shit show. It's a damn shame because, again, Chris and I want to see all of these films succeed. I love DC characters growing up. I love them today. I still read DC, but man, you guys just get your shit together. So that's all I have to say. Chris, do you have anything left to say about DC before we move to one more Marvel story?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough for me because we want to stay optimistic. And when we look at, we talked about this on last week's show about, all the restructuring within DC, which I from a business perspective, I can look at it as more of a positive restructuring and a fresh start, kind of like a rebuild of a sports team or something like that. But you still have to question how is that going to correlate over to the Warner Brothers side of the film franchises? And I don't know at this point. There's so many questions. It doesn't make sense. The only person that I have any faith in all of DC is Jim Lee. And I think he touched on kind of like somebody that has vision during fandom, but he's speaking of the comic books, and that's what gives me a little more optimism there. But when it comes to their film franchises, I have absolutely no idea. And actually, I will say one more thing. Actually, the one thing that's kind of keeping me out of just, getting sank in the quicksand is Matt Reeves, man. Matt Reeves Batman. Like, at this point, and I know this, maybe I'm being too whatever, I'm still optimistic for the films. I still want the films to come out and do good. But because of all this, it's background noise, and the only thing I see right now is the Batman. I could care about this. I could care less about that. Give me Batman. I'm not going to listen to all the talk anymore.
Forget at this point. Like us as fans can't really rely on a cohesive DC universe. Let's just see some good films. Start with that, okay? Yep. I'm going to leave this story with these two comments. One from Planet Arizona Comics. When you don't have a Feige and you try to be like Feige, you fail miserably. Yes. And then Dan De La Torre, I'm not rooting against DC, but when you see WandaVision, you'll see why Marvel Studios is so far ahead of DC. Marvel has the creative edge that DC doesn't have.
Yeah. Yep.
Said perfectly. Now we're going to move on to an interesting story here that is quite controversial, but, we're going to let Chris's words kind of massage it out. He's going to have a good way of explaining this whole thing out. Go for it, Chris.
Yeah. This is I'm glad I could talk about this today. It's obviously be getting a lot of press this week, and that's the misinterpretation of the Punisher logo. And so it seems. So we got a public petition, guys, from fans demanding that Marvel either change the Punisher's logo, the skull logo, or just take it off, get rid of it. We need to evolve from it and so forth. We got a lot of pushback. And this came from a certain few individuals that were sporting the skull shirts at the DC riots, at the Capitol. And John Bernthal spoke out himself against the rioters, but in favor of keeping the logo. And I want to make that clear, guys. This is a topic to where we could speak out against these individuals that are misinterpreting the logo, but doesn't mean that we're, for, getting rid of it. But let's listen to what John Bernthal said in reply to a tweet from KZ the writer. So let's look at KZ's tweet first. Quote, I'm a Punisher fan. No matter how many nut jobs steal his logo, I'll still be a Punisher fan. They don't understand what it truly symbolizes. If they did, they wouldn't wear it. And I'm not going to let them take it from me. In response, this is what Bernthal said, quote, these people are misguided, lost, and afraid. They have nothing to do with what Frank stands for or is about. Big love, Jay. Look, perfectly said. I'm not going to get too much into the politics of it, but I agree with KZ. I agree with John. And simply this, we're not going to cancel the symbolism of a character simply because a few people want to, misinterpret what that symbol means. So I wish I could have a nifty, metaphor or something. I mean, it's just like, I say all the time, it's like, look, social media is a positive outlet, right? Here we are having a show, being positive, connecting with people during COVID, during a pandemic. We have instantaneous information or tips, but guess what? It also can be. It can be a tool for very negative things. Well, just because it can be a tool for the negative things and people want to abuse it, does that mean we should shut it down and rid it? Same thing with this. Look, you don't understand what it's meant for. You do not understand what this logo means. So we need to look past the few people that misrepresent it and then hold it even dearer to our hearts so we can continue to represent it in the right way and bring that to light. Because yes, I would absolutely be discouraged and just hate if they did anything to the Punisher, his logo, his symbol, whatsoever.
Yeah, well said. To have that logo associated, I mean, the Punisher is a violent, brutal character that has a lot of rage, right? But has ethics, morals, and stands up for the right thing. And again, I don't want to get too political either, but there's a lot of hatred going on right now. A lot of hatred, and a lot of people involved with the hatred are taking the Punisher's logo on as their own, and again, that's not what it's about. And we don't need to get into more than that. I think, Chris, we've said it. We've covered the story, but it is a misuse of the Punisher logo.
Yeah, and look. There's one thing with identifying a vigilante in a comic book, that's taking out bad guys and doesn't care about due process, right? But in the comic books, I think it's really easy to tell who the bad guys are. And there's stories that we're supposed to learn from. When we're filled with hate, we don't act. We shouldn't be acting in violence to where no matter who you think the bad guys are, you don't hurt people like that, especially innocent people, including police, because the police officer lost their life during those riots. That is not what the Punisher stands for, regardless about his story arc in the comics and this character having maybe some types of being misguided himself, having PTSD, dealing with all these issues. Again, this is something that we're supposed to learn from and understand the core root of what the symbol means. And yeah, that it's not being represented, especially when innocent people get hurt. That's when it crosses a line, and it has nothing to do with this character or this symbol.
All right. And on that note, we are going to move on from our news. Guys, this was a huge news day, or huge news comic book canon episode. We really appreciate you sticking with us this long, but now we talk comic books, right? But before we talk comic books, we're going to talk comic book history with our good friend Tom Tormey. That's right. Tom Tormey, each and every week, delivers an amazing dose, a small dose of comic book history knowledge. Follow him at Cosmic Comic History on Instagram. Open the app in the morning. You will see most likely you'll see some information or a little nugget of history that you didn't know. And this is one of them. We're very grateful that he is part of this show each and every week, dishing out some of this knowledge. And this one is fascinating. We'll get back to it. Chris and I will talk about it, on the back end. But check out Tom here with this week's Cosmic Minute.
Hi everyone, I'm Tom from Cosmic Comic History, and this is your Cosmic Minute. And today we're recording here in Fort Tilden, New York, home to, at one point, some of the largest guns on the eastern seaboard. This was a military base that was in operation from 1917 to about 1945. During that time, some of the largest guns in the United States were placed right here in this concrete encasement behind me. And what better place to talk about why Superman didn't go up, up, and away, all the way to Germany during World War II to stop the Nazis. In a comic strip that was published in February of 1942, Clark Kent goes to enlist in the military. While there, he witnesses a young man being turned away. Engrossed in thought, Superman begins to read an eye chart. Unfortunately, it's the eye chart in the wrong room. And because of this, the doctors consider him to be legally blind and declare him 4F, unfit for military duty. Of course, that is the in-story explanation. But why didn't the writers, artists, editors of Superman want him going over to Europe to end the war? In reality, having Superman go overseas would have undermined the efforts of our men and women who were stationed there. Ending the war with a thought, as Superman could have done, would have undermined their efforts. Although Jerry Siegel was able to go overseas and serve his country during World War II, Superman wasn't. He stayed at home, selling war bonds and promoting the war effort. I'm still Tom from Cosmic Comic History, and that was your Cosmic Minute. Until next week, be well and stay safe.
I love it. Out of respect for our men and women who fought the war overseas, the writers decided not to involve Superman in the war. And that is a brilliant way, in terms of the story, to explain why he wasn't over there helping out his country.
Yep.
Fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, a great ability for them to be aware and conscious of that. Perception matters, and I'm sure when a lot of people are feeling hopeless, and you turn to these fictional characters and start getting depressed of saying, well, shoot, why can't Superman save the day in real life, and I think that really was I don't want to say ahead of its time, but for them to just have that ability to critically examine that during that situation or during World War II. Wow. Just big kudos to them.
No, absolutely. Again, out of respect for our men and women in the service, that's huge kudos. And that is extreme. Like that's something you could bring out like at a party and be like, yeah, the reason you don't see Superman in all of these, World War II stories is because of this. So absolutely fantastic. We absolutely love the Cosmic Minute, as does Dan De La Torre. And I'm seeing a lot of love in the comments too for Tom. Guys, please follow Tom on Cosmic Comic History. He has juicy nuggets like this every day. It's just on Comic Book Canon, you get to see him. You get a little FaceTime with him, and he could be a field reporter once in a while as well, like you saw him today. Anyways, we'll have a brand new Cosmic Comic Cosmic Comic Minute next week. But right now, we are going to get into it. We love this segment here. We hope you all do too. It's the time that we want to hear from you too. But right now, fresh from the comic shop, that's right. This is the moment that we bring our books of the week that Chris and I either got in the mail or we got, at our local comic book shop. We want to hear what you guys got too. So please get yours on the ready in the comments. Tell us what you got. But we are going to share with you guys what we got this week. So Chris, I don't know who we started with last week, so I'm just going to start with you. Why don't we just start with you? You are first, Chris. Go for it.
Which one to pick? Which one to pick? All right, guys. I finally got my copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 55. This book is so hot. It's a $40 to $50 book right now. I get it via mail subscription, guys. Many of you probably know that. So it comes in the mail in the flimsy little plastic with the flimsy little board. It's not even a board, really. It's not even as thick as a cardstock paper. It's not even that thick. It's ridiculous. It didn't come too bad. I could press it up. I think it would get a 9.6 with the press. I don't know about a 9.8 because of the black cover, but hey, still beautiful. Still happy to have it. I still need to read it. I'll be reading this, guys. So, like I said, I'm not too concerned about condition, but just very happy to have my very own really hot ASM 55 book.
I mean, it's still hot. It's in the top 10, which we're going to get into next. But
Yes.
that is a hot book. But yeah, there's a challenge here. The bearded one, you won't slab it. You're scared. You won't slab it.
I won't slab it because I'm not going to waste my money on slabbing that book.
That
That's
book is
just
hot.
fine.
I don't.
Yeah,
It's going to be one of those books that's not going to. It's going to be a sought after book for a long time. They're coming out with a second print that's black and red.
yes.
And
I ordered some.
The variant of that second print, which I am really tempted because it's beautiful, is black on white instead of white on black. I'm super. That one looks amazing too. So be on the lookout for those guys. All right, here it is. My turn. Fresh from the comic shop. I have to say, guys, it was a very light week for me. I got one new book from my read list, from my pull list from the comic book shop, my local comic book shop this week, and I'll share that one with you. But again, it was a very light week. Not too many things I'm super excited about. There's one or maybe two. But this one, you know, I'm enjoying this series. Darth Vader, number 9. I'm not on number 9. I haven't read up to there. I haven't read 8, 6, 7, or 8 yet. But I'm super excited about this. This is a fantastic series. You see Ochi Festoon on here, right there. That's, I guess, technically his second cover appearance. And you got Darth Vader. He had to remake himself. I don't know why yet because I haven't read up there. But you see these legs and these. Anyways, I love this cover. Fantastic. But this is my only new issue of the week that I did pick up. I'm excited, though. I really do like this series. It's in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, where Darth Vader is trying to track down who kept from him that he had a son. And I don't think he knows if he has – no, he doesn't know if he has a daughter yet. So anyways, that is my first selection from Fresh from the Comic Shop. Chris, give us your second.
Nice. All right. So next on my list, I did the unboxing on my channel this week, and it was a book off of my 2021 want list. Gave it a press. I even fixed the spine roll and did a video about that. That's Amazing Spider-Man number 78, first appearance of the Prowler. Really nice looking mid-grade copy. Even after the press, I wouldn't put it higher than a 5.0. It has like a subscription crease going up and another color break. And it presents well, but I just, because of the two kind of big color breaks, I wouldn't put it past a 5.0. But really nice. Like I said, it had a really nasty spine roll. Fixed that. And this is a book that I've been waiting to get for a long time. Never pulled the trigger. I think Prowler's a great character. We know that the Prowler character has been introduced in the Into the Spider-Verse, and even Easter egging with Donald Glover's character in Homecoming in the MCU. Obviously, that's the ultimate Prowler. But still, you know, we see the Prowler character, and this book has definitely gained some steam over the last couple of years because of that. So, yep.
That's a great book. That's a key book. I think you win this week in terms of the cool pickups this week. I'm telling you right now. But I really like that book. That cover is absolutely amazing too. All right, moving on. Here's my second of the week. I mean, I had to pick this up. I dig through the dollar bins probably every week. I find some amazing things there, which I have shared with you guys before. But this one just harkens back to the past for me, my childhood, my youth. And I guarantee many of you will feel the same. It was just a cool cover for $1. Voltron number 1. This is a 2011 series from Dynamite. I haven't read the book yet. I don't even know if it's that good. I doubt the series is still around. But I really, really love this cover. So that's my pick. That's my second pickup this week. Super excited about this one. I love this cover. Anyways, moving on.
Dude.
Oh, look at you, Chris.
Anything Voltron, I am all about. So, yes, I love that cover. I think I own that book. I'm pretty sure I do. But, yeah, man, I'm a huge Voltron fan.
No, I have the theme song in my head. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, and you guys know that Optimus Prime.
Look at this, Swaggle House Comics and Game. Voltron Cinematic Universe, please.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we're all about that. Absolutely, 100%. No doubt.
You know that Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, did the intro to the Voltron cartoon.
Did not know that. I will be
Yep.
listening to that next time. That's one of those
Yep.
things that completely changed your perception of the show. Unbelievable. All right, Chris, you're going to be beating me this week on the gets. I'm telling you. But it's never a competition. But I've just started to make it a competition because I don't feel.
Hey, I love that Voltron one, man. So,
definitely. I mean, I love looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot.
All right, give us your third pickup, Chris. What do you got?
All right. So most of you guys probably know that I'm not big on variants. I don't really, I will go after cover B if I like it better than cover A because I love art, but I'm not big on spending more money than cover price or whatnot on, exclusive variants. But guys, I did a thing. KRS Comics, I saw one. It was only $15. And I said, you know what? I'm getting it. Beautiful Mike Mayhew, Black Cat, #1 exclusive KRS variant. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. Venomized. I love it.
Yo, that is a beautiful cover. Let's show it again.
Mayhew is amazing.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I do love that cover. That's a beautiful, beautiful cover. All right, guys, here is a reminder. Please be telling us the books you picked up this week. We know you guys did. We see a few. I see maybe one person listing what they. Tell us what you got. Tell us what you got fresh from the comic shop this week.
Don't act like you guys aren't spending money on comic books now.
For real, there's no shame here. I mean, we all do. We're all in this together, right? We support you. Anyways, here's my third pickup. Talking about good covers here, like sweet covers. This is again another dollar bin pickup. This is beautiful. This is a variant too. Again, dollar bin. Spider-Man Ghost Spider #1 by Art Germ. I freaking love this cover. I have not read the book yet, but I mean, come on. This cover is absolutely beautiful. So that was my third pickup of this week. And, it wasn't something I was seeking or anything like that, but I was like, heck yeah, for $1, I'm going to pick this one up. I picked up 2, to be honest with you. All right, Chris.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Hey, another one. I mean, for $1 all day long.
Heck yeah, man. Absolutely.
All
okay,
right.
you guys, by the way, they are starting to list the books that they picked up. We know you guys picked up books. Don't front. All right.
Yes. All right. I'm going to show 2 off for the price of 1. I got these in a lot together, so I thought, hey, I was going after the 1 book, but this was a lot. I put an offer in, and they offered like a couple dollars higher, and then a counter, and then I accepted it. So the book that was just along for the ride was this nice early Silver Age, Wonder Woman. It's Wonder Woman 135. And I think this is from like late 1961. So, early 12 center, should I say. But really awesome Wonder Woman. I already had this, so now I have 2 copies. But I was going after this book, guys. And that is Wonder Woman #205. The second appearance of Nubia, as it says right down there. Who is Nubia? So the first appearance of Nubia is issue 204, and that is on my 2021 want list. That's a high dollar book. I was able to get this one for really decently cheap, second appearance, and I gave it a press. I mean, this thing was wrinkly, fingerly, crinkled all throughout. I gave it a press. It's got a little bit of staining and a couple of color breaks here. But overall, man, I really bumped this up. I think I bumped it up at least a couple of grades. I'm going to say that this book is easily a 4.5 now, where before, I don't think it could have got higher than a 3.5 and even lower.
Nice. Now, I'm laughing because Steve Bradley said what I was thinking, bondage cover. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But that's a nice pickup, man. That is definitely those are 2 nice pickups right there. All right, guys, really liking that you guys are telling us what you got. I see one that I'm quite interested in by We Got Issues that we'll share in a second after Chris and I are done. This is my 4th book of the week. Again, actually, all of these, I just realized, all of them except for that Darth Vader are dollar bin pickups, right? So here we go. This one's a little bit hot because of a big MCU rumor here. Ricky Barnes. I do believe Ricky Barnes is in this one. Captain America #3. I mean, there's Sam Wilson as Capwolf. Well, that's the dead giveaway. You got to pick it up because of that. But no, Ricky Barnes is in this issue as well. She's supposed to play big time into the Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier series. So this book got hot quick. I picked it up for $1. I was very happy I picked it up. So yeah, be on the lookout. They're definitely in your dollar bins. All right, moving on, Chris. Your 5th book of the week. Here we go. What do you got?
All right, guys. Jeff, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to kind of break the rules here, guys, because I'm going to show off something that's not a book. Hey, Jeff, you want to say something to that real quick before I show it off?
I'm interested. It is breaking the rules, but you know what? It's our show. We can do what we want, I guess.
Yeah, man. And hey, you can't only buy comics from a comic book shop. There's other stuff to buy,
from
right?
the comic shop. You're absolutely right. All right.
Yeah, I had to get this. Many of you know that I am a huge fan of Transformers, so I had to get the Transformer Back to the Future mashup 35th anniversary DeLorean Transformer. Look at that. That's a DeLorean that transforms, guys. How beast is that?
Yo, you should have seen my reaction when I saw that. That is fantastic. How much did you pick that up for?
So, okay, check this out. I pre-ordered this for $24.95, $99, whatever. Go look at what it's going for on eBay already.
I'm not going to do that. You tell me. I will do that, actually.
Oh, yeah. Go do that. I'm going to tell you right now. Just really quick, just to give some context. The marketing
of up right now, guys.
The marketing of Transformers is absolutely amazing because this is what they do. You can always go into a Walmart or a Target or whatnot and always find Transformer toys, but you can never find the same ones. They come out with different lines like every other year, and they're minimally produced. So as soon as the new series starts, you can't ever find the old series again. They're not on the market any longer. And the prices of these on the secondary market,
I'm going to show it.
Just boom.
I'm going to show it right now. You got it for $25?
$25.
All right, this is what it's going for, guys. $189.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
oh my God.
Transformers. I'm telling you guys, Transformers. Now, and that's why, my son loves Transformers. And that's why when I buy him some, I'm like, don't open it. Don't open it. But I got plenty of my own. So I'm glad he has some to play with.
Yeah, I that's definitely a want for me, but not going to be a buy. So, all right. That's a great, honestly, man, that good call. It is fresh from the comic shop. You're allowed to do that, as are you guys. Share it with us. And we're going to get to your guys' books right after this. This is my last book of the week. This was a great find in the dollar bin. In the dollar bin. That is right. Guys, Star Wars books are going crazy, and people are overlooking a certain set of Star Wars books. I really wish that Sith Lordley was here because he would agree with me. But Star Wars Adventures, I think it's a 2017 series that ended in 2019. They just rebooted it last year. Star Wars Adventures #7. This is I don't know if you guys have seen Rebels. I was like, I'm not watching the show, but I ended up watching it, and it's really good. But there's a character called Hondo right here. This is his first appearance in comic books. Okay, I got this in the dollar bin. There's a good chance he will make it to screen because they are going to be looking into all of the Rebels characters as well as like Ezra Bridger, who's right there. I got this for $1. This is worth on cover price $35. So they are out there, guys. Do not overlook these Star Wars adventure books. Okay, the 2017 print, the 2017 run. Absolutely, you should be looking for these guys. Absolutely, there's gold in those dollar bins. And my 4 out of my 5 books are proof, and they are all going well over $1 each. So that is my fresh from the comic shop. But Chris, are you ready to get into what everybody else got here? Because I'm gonna have to scroll through here quite a bit. Oh man, I love it though. I love that you guys are doing this. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I apologize if I missed anybody. It looks like Matt Stadahar got CGC books back. He got Spotlight 32. Wow. Nova 1, Venom 7 and 9. We're talking Dylan there. And the Red Hulk #1. That's a nice week, man. That's a great week. Good for you. All right, what else do we got? We got hold on. Steve Riley says he's got Black Winter stuff. I'm just assuming Thor 5. I don't know. P. Keel has got his Heir to the Empire #1, graded at 9.6. That is only going to go up with Thrawn coming. Thrawn will be in that Ahsoka series, guys. 100%. The Bearded One. I won the complete set of Return of Wolverine, all cover A, for $10 off cover price.
Oh,
$10
nice.
off cover price. That counts, definitely, man. Good job. This one I like. We got issues. I just paid for a Venom #33, Key and Black signature series 9.8 Gleason trade. That is that. There's like a 3-part series to your Amazing Spider-Man 55. There's a Carnage cover, right? That's similar, and then there's a Venom cover that's similar. This Venom cover is fire, as we got issues put there. Good job, man. That's pretty sweet. It's not out yet, but I guess you pre-ordered that 9.8. I'm always nervous about pre-ordering those 9.8s. People gotta make do on that. All right, Swaggle House Comics, man. Since I know my wife isn't watching, it's a safe space to share the comics I bought. Found an Incredible Hulk 105. Immortal Hulk #1 did the cover swipe with it. I don't know who drew that, Chris. That thing is sweet, where he's literally like, oh man, that is the embodiment of like a horror image, like a horror genre image. Good pickup, man. Good pickup. What else do we got? Something P. Keel also picked up. Something Is Killing the Children. He got it at a CGC 9.8. We don't know what issue number that is, but good job on getting that 9.8. Let us know what that issue is. My wife is Dan. Oh, I see. Dan's making fun of him. My wife is away at the moment. My wife has no idea how much I spent on comics. Here we go. I mean, yeah, Tom, I could spend hours standing at the dollar bins. Seriously, you find gold in those dollar bins, guys. Overlook those. I picked up a literal book recently. What are those? No, just kidding. That's terrible. A novel about Logan Superman and Martian Manhunter. Here we go. Sorry, guys. We need a moderator. I know we say this every week, don't we, Chris? And that looks like it's about it. Wait, Planet King Black is a lot better than Absolute Carnage. They both look interesting. I mean, Spider-Man, honestly, out of those Gleason covers, Spider-Man is the best looking one. The Carnage and Venom, the Venom one, I like the Venom one better than the Carnage one, I'd have to say. Anyways, all right, guys. So that Star Wars guy, that's very kind of you. Journos and Comic Book Canon, I like your comic books and your reviews. Thanks, man. We really appreciate you watching. Please continue on and join the conversation. Absolutely. All right, that concludes our Fresh from the Comic Shop. Great segment this week because you guys participated. We'll have a new segment where I'll pick up these comic books next week. Again, we know you guys pick up comic books. Share them with us. Hit us up on Instagram. We'll post them on the show each and every week. We'll remind you this week, though. Follow us at Comic Book Canon. We'll be sure to post anything you guys share with us. All right, but moving on. This is our favorite segment. No, it's Kid Collector's favorite segment of the week. He's not here, but here it is. It's the top 10 hottest comic books of the week based off of cover prices data. That's right, cover prices data. They take data from all of these sites that people buy books from, and they are able to put it in some algorithm and let you know what the top 10 hottest comic books are. This is all based on data, not speculation. And what we do, basically they list that, they give us their list of top 10 on Mondays. Our show is live every Friday, as we know. But we still like to dissect that top 10 list, and Chris picks his top 3 most interesting books of the week. So what we're going to do here first is we are going to get into the top 10 hottest comic books. That's right. Here we go. At number 10, Star Wars: The High Republic. Number 1, the 1 in 25 Sway variant. This is going for a pretty penny, guys. This is going for at least $75 I've seen. At number 9 is Star Wars number 1, the 1977 Marvel book. At number 8 is Iron Man number 5, the Frank Cho Thick Like Honey variant. I didn't know it was called that, but this cover, man, this cover is freaking awesome. Number 7 is Star Wars number 10. The 1 in 25 Terry Dotson variant. There is a new squadron that is revealed in this issue. At number 6, Star Wars: The High Republic. Number 1, the 1 in 10 Pascal Blanche and Gonzalo Kenny variant. Number 5 is Star Wars: The High Republic. Number 1, the B variant. That was probably my favorite cover. At number 4 is Dark Knights, Death Metal. Number 7, we'll get into that one in a second. Number 3 is Amazing Spider-Man number 55. This has been, ever since it's been released, this has been in the top 10. Number 2, Star Wars: The High Republic. Number 1, this is the A cover. And at number 1 is the Star Wars: The High Republic. This is the Hans variant. This is the one that most people are going crazy over. I have 2 of these, have to admit, but I don't think this is the best cover. I really think that B cover is the best cover. But here we are. We just told you about the top 10, including the Thick Like Honey variant.
Man, I got it. So just to let the audience know, I plug in the notes for the top 10, and I'm like, man, this book is hot because she thick like honey on that one. And I just put it in the notes, and I'm like, let's see if Jeff actually reads this.
I took it as gospel, man. I took it that is what it was. And I was like, I never heard that before, but okay, because she is. And she's beautiful. Anyways, moving on. Chris, you take these top 10 and you dissect, you pull out the best 3 of the bunch. But we have more than 3, and we'll explain why in a second, won't we, Chris?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm looking at this list, and I'm like, okay, what books do I pick out of High Republic, High Republic, High Republic, High Republic, High Republic? Okay, I don't have much options, but I made it work, guys. So let's start with my number 3. Marvel dominated 2 weeks in a row, taking every 10 spots. They took 9 this week, so I got to give credit to DC for sneaking in there and grabbing 1 spot, and that's my number 3 pick. That's Dark Knights, Death Metal. Number 7, I ordered this book, beautiful cover, black on the Wonder Woman logo, and you got Yara Flores right there on the cover with Wonder Woman. Just beautiful. Now, this is arguably, Jeff, we were talking about this, arguably a first cameo, but regardless, it's a cameo. I'll let Jeff kind of chime in on that in a second. This book sold 108 copies with a high raw of $24 already. So again, it's, look, I gotten a lot of feedback in the community about this just being a hot cover, and that's why I bought it. So you can't argue that. But also, obviously, with the cameo appearance of Yara Flores, that's going to pull in some spec value. $24, I don't see that sticking around. But hey, look, this is a black cover. It is an introduction of a character, but again, we'll get more into that in a quick seconds, just to add context. I think these are books that long-term wise, because of that black cover, if we get these graded in 9.8s, I think those 9.8s can still command a decent value on the market, in some years to come. But overall, I think this is just a really cool book. I love the cover. But Jeff, just really quick, let's talk about this first cameo appearance of Yara Flores.
I got a problem with how people are perceiving this issue here. By the way, I do have to correct you there. I don't think that's Yara Flora on the cover. I think that's a different multiverse Wonder Woman.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a beautiful cover by Capullo, right?
Yes.
So just need to throw that out there. But people are treating this like a Hulk 180 in a way. Like this is her first kind of appearance as a cameo, and that's not the case. This issue came out the same day as that Wonder Woman #1 with Yara Flora, which is her first appearance. Now, a lot of people are speculating still that Wonder Woman 4 could be her as a young kid.
Oh, right.
Who knows about that? I don't know. Nobody's really said anything yet. I do find there's a big coincidence having that being a Brazilian tribe of like from Wonder Woman's hair, whatever. But I don't see the big deal on this issue. Okay, I don't see long-term spec on this issue. And I think people are wrong saying that this is like the Wolverine's first cameo before you see Wolverine. That's my opinion on the whole thing.
We were talking about this too. I mean, it's a cameo appearance. It's the numbering that is like, how do we number that? It is a cameo appearance because it appears in the book as a cameo. But how do you put the first in front of that when on the same day her actual first full appearance comes out? So I think in the future, and say if these books do get shipped out to CGC or CBS or whatnot, I think they need to recognize this as cameo appearance.
Fine, fair.
And that's it. Don't put a first or anything in front of it, and just keep, the future state as her real first full appearance, and we'll be good. And and I agree. Like I said, I mean, I bought it for the cover. That's all. Because it's a black cover, if people want to go get some 9.8 slab, hey, but other than that, I don't see this. I don't think people are going to be paying $24 for this book raw.
No, I agree. I agree with you. Like, it's a beautiful cover. It's black, so a pristine condition. A 9.8 on this, it's going to go. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the mystique of the Yara Flora, if she takes off and she's in there, I don't know. But honestly, I'm with you. Bearded One, we're think alike here. I don't know how to value first cameos that drop the same day as full. Right here, man. Right. Definitely see your point, because it's my point too. All right, but moving on to the second book of this top 10 list that you find most interesting, Chris.
Yeah. So look, we know what Star Wars is doing right now, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But that's not why I picked the book. I just got to, pay my dues and say, you know what, you earned this. And my number 2 pick is Star Wars number 1, 1977, Marvel, first Star Wars comic book. Look, this book to me, when we talk about this book in 20 and 30 years, man, I don't think we've seen the height of this book. I really think this whole entire run has been a bit undervalued for a very long time. And I know that the Star Wars hype is crazy right now, but I think it's long overdue. So that's why I don't think this hype is just going to die off. It's long overdue. And I think the direction where Lucasfilm is taking Star Wars is similar to that direction of how Kevin Feige took the MCU. And we see how that consistency and how that success has really impacted the speculation on comic books. And it's not just speculation that boosts up prices in the market and then we see them drop. I mean, we're talking about long term. I think we're going to see that with the Star Wars comic books. And it all starts right here. So you can't overlook this book, guys. This has a 187% increase in sales with the high CGC 9.6 of $1,200. That's big, guys. So I don't suspect that we're going to keep seeing this book in the top 10, but I definitely see this book's value continuing to hit threshold after threshold and keep being even more sought after. And I talk about this a lot too with Bronze Age books. It's 2021, guys. The Bronze Age was 40 plus years ago now. I mean, we're getting more far removed from this, and these books are getting older and older, and that's going to matter moving forward.
Yep. I mean, this is not. We're seeing an avalanche of Star Wars and by avalanche, I mean in terms of passion and enthusiasm for it. We're seeing a surge, right? And I can only go from my experience in terms. I mean, I one of the first movies I was taken to, my dad took me to Star Wars. I was super young. I was 3 years old, and I don't remember going, but I just had all the toys, and I was entrenched in it. And I've loved Star Wars ever since, and it's fascinating. My 5-year-old daughter, she just got a Baby Yoda for her birthday, and today was Share Day, and she was sharing Baby Yoda, explaining to the class all about Baby Yoda. So we are cultivating this generation in it, and it doesn't hurt that all of this brand new content is coming out to the people who love Star Wars, us originally. And it's going to cascade all the way down. My daughter loves Star Wars. She's got a Millennium Falcon. She's got a TIE Fighter. She's got all the little play school action figures. So it's so exciting to see this happen with this property we've all loved so long. but it's finally getting the recognition that's due that you were saying, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And my number one pick obviously adds to this, but I just want to put in context too. The fan base is really being brought back together after being divided. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still certain individuals out there, like certain YouTubers that get clicks and views off of spewing disgusting hate and ridiculous rhetoric, which goes along to my first pick. But besides them, and their minions, look, we're realizing what Star Wars means to all of us, and there's strength there, and that strength is going to keep going. And this is just 40 years old, 40 plus years old now. It's like, oh, it's just the beginning. It's a new beginning. It's a new hope for the franchise of Star Wars.
The bearded one. I mean, I can't. We have to do our part as parents. I got my 2-year-old into Baby Groot, Baby Yoda, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because it's rewarding to us to do this, right? Yep. I haven't got her into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, my daughter, yet, but like, it is so rewarding and so much fun, especially when she says, "I want to see this. I want to watch the Star Wars Lego special on Disney Plus over and over." And I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's get you these Star Wars toys, because it also. I'm going to get into a whole new tangent, and I'm going to stop. But as a parent of a daughter, a father of a daughter, you want to empower these girls to let them be whatever they want. And I want her to be into Rey as this powerful, Jedi, and she could do whatever she wants. Anyways, moving on. So we are.
Yeah, that really actually segues into our number one, kind of like what you were touching on there, because we got Star Wars is doing this with these new characters that I know nothing about yet because I haven't read the book. But guys, I mean, you probably know what it is because I already picked 2 other books out of the only 4 books out of there, because this book took 5 spots, and that is Star Wars: The High Republic. And I'm not picking one. I'm just talking about the book in general. We had 5, the main cover and 4 variants, and they all just boomed, guys. So this book is obviously loaded with first appearances. And again, I haven't read the book. Keeve, Trennis, Avar, Chris, Skier. I don't even know if I'm saying their names right. But look, these are characters for the next generation. And regardless of what some, washed up ex-DC comic book artist has to say on his YouTube channel of, 200,000 followers, about how this book is filled with this and that, and it's a failure. Prove me wrong. Prove him wrong. It did. 5 spots on the top 10 list. And again, we're talking about sales. This isn't speculation. This is data, raw data, guys. Check this out. All the covers total. Do you know how many books it sold? And this isn't even, you guys got to take into consideration when we talk about the census of copies sold, right? It's not, this doesn't take into consideration every single LCS store that exists in your neighborhood. But still, on the census, 694 copies sold, guys. That is huge. We had cover A, CGC 9.8 pre-sale selling for $90. This book went bonkers, and there is no denying the success of this book. I don't care what anyone says. And I'll tell you guys, I don't know if I ordered it because I do my previews. So I did this set of previews like 3 months ago. So I'm like, I really hope I ordered this one because I've been picking up a lot of Star Wars stuff. If I didn't, I'm very happy with picking up a second or third print just because I do want to read the story. So,
I picked it up. I read the story. I thought it was great. I'm excited about what, they have the novels that are coming. They have the novels that are out. They have a Star Wars High Republic Adventures, which is, the younger version, which is.
I got that one. I got that one pre-ordered.
The IDW. That's not the copy, but I'm showing you an Adventures, property that they have. So, I don't know who you're talking about that said it failed, but I thought I went big on this, guys, right? I have 3 covers. I have three copies of cover A. I have 1 copy of cover B. I have 2 copies of the Hans variant, and I have 3 copies of the 1 in 10, right? I thought I went big on this. I'm part of a message board where, dude, he bought, and I don't know what the ratios are of what covers he bought, but he bought 1,600 books. He bought 1,600 copies of this book. That's how much he's betting on this right now, too.
Wow.
So I don't think the demand is going to go down. I think a lot of people missed out on pre-ordering this, and they missed out. They couldn't get it in their local shop. I do think that's real. And I think the demand is only going to go up. You have a series called The Acolytes that's coming out on Disney Plus that's going to be exploring. I don't know if it's going to be exploring 2 centuries before A New Hope or the prequels, but I'm pretty sure this mythology that's being created in the novels, in the comic books, all of that will be there. Demand is going to be there because Star Wars fans are also comic book fans, but there's also a community of Star Wars fans that are not, that collect the comic books.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, look, for me, it's win-win right now. You know, I see no doomsday in the future for all of these Star Wars spec books. I think all of these values that are spiking, and we could go to Thrawn, we could look at Ahsoka, all this stuff. This stuff is here, and it's not going away anytime soon. Like I said, I believe this trickle-down effect of us being pulled back into the Star Wars genre and Star Wars franchise, it's here for some years to come, and we're going to see that. I do believe we're going to continue to see most of these key books rise. And like you said, this new chapter is just beginning, where we are really clinging to the books relating to the films now in Star Wars more than ever. And boy, is there so much content to be created. And if the books are already hot, what is that going to do to them? So yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's going to be a great next, 2, 3, 5 years of Star Wars goodness, and I can't wait to keep doing shows and talking about them.
It's going to be long past 2 to 5 years. They are planning well.
Yeah.
I mean, based on The Mandalorian, they're building out this universe because, again, there's so much to explore in this universe. And the amazing thing is it's all canon, right? The comic books relate to what happens on the shows, which relates to what happens in the movies. It's all related. It's exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. It's exciting time to be a comic book fan. That wraps up our top 10 hottest comic books of the week. We'll have a new list next week, and I'm super excited to see what that will be. But moving on, we are going to enter our Q&A section here. Now, with this Q&A, we're going to talk about WandaVision, and we want to talk about WandaVision with you guys, right?
Yes.
But if you haven't seen WandaVision, feel free to leave right now. We don't want to spoil it for you. But as you guys are trickling out, which hopefully you're not, we have some questions already. That Star Wars guy asking both of us. Some people said that the Star Wars Acolyte is going to be R-rated Star Wars movie. What do you think? It is not going to be an R-rated film. It's going to be a show on Disney Plus that's going to explore centuries before, like it's going to explore the High Republic era in some way. I'm not sure when in the High Republic. It could be what we're reading about right now, which would be amazing because then you'll see these people on the screen, which we all go crazy for. But it won't be a movie. It will be a series, and I doubt it's going to be an R-rated series. But if it's anywhere near like what they're doing in The Mandalorian, I'm good with that.
Right.
That action's outstanding. It's just. The action's outstanding. The stories, everything has been great about The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think that they set the tone. I'm not saying that tone can't change from here to there, but yeah, I mean, I don't need at this point like an R rating to give me the Star Wars that I need. But I will say this, and we talked about this too. I do believe that the animated side of Star Wars actually has the ability to be more mature now and to deliver more of a mature theme of things and getting those messages and stories across on the Disney Plus platform next to being on like, Disney XD. So I think that's a very positive, but look, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be a fan of R-rated Star Wars in the future. I mean, we got Deadpool under the Disney umbrella now being an R-rated film, so it can absolutely happen. And I'm sure if they did that, it would be great. But for right now, I'm just, whatever they're doing, I'm sitting back and ready to enjoy it. I'm not even diving too much into it, worrying about it. I'm like, if it's coming out, if it's under either Filoni or Favreau or even Feige, who's getting his little dip, he's dipping his little chicken nuggets in the sauce now, in the Star Wars sauce. I'm all good, man.
Those chicken nuggets. That could be a whole other thing. Anyway, but just keep producing great films, guys, or great shows, great stories. Just keep doing that. It doesn't need to be R-rated. Like, I don't care. Anyways, the bearded one asks, how much do you have that, how are you spending so much money on comic books? Guys, my goal, and I think a lot of you guys do this as well, I try and have the hobby pay for itself. So I try and spec out to be able to sell some stuff, to buy some stuff. And that's how I've been doing it ever since I started collecting comic books. I haven't been that successful lately, so I have been spending more than I like, but I enjoy it, man, especially picking up dollar bin books that you can turn around for and make $29 for, So anyways, that's how I do that. This is a really good question. Oh, Chris, I don't know if you want to add to
that. I guess I'll give away my secret, guys. You guys want to know how I first off, I don't think I spend that much money because I'm a bargain shopper. So I will, when I do my A1 hauls, like I'm buying those books for $1 or $1.50 or something like that. But and then I get my, I only spend about maybe $50 a month on new releases on my previews orders. I don't do that much in new releases, and then I'll buy, a decent key or semi-key book here and there. Honestly, what's helping me right now is my YouTube, to be completely honest. And the thing, just to kind of dive into that a little bit before we get to the next question, is that it helps me bring back material to talk about and discuss on my channel. So that's why I always say, guys, when we look at my channel and what I do and the support that I get and everything that you guys do, that revenue, I get ad revenue, it goes back into my channel, whether it's for new lights or for me to buy a few comic books to actually show off and talk about. So it's a really cool dynamic. And I really thank all of you guys that support us here and me there. And it's a beautiful thing. So thank you guys. I mean, really, from the bottom of my heart.
Absolutely. And again, try and make the hobby pay for itself for everybody here. All right. Now, again, this is your last chance because we're going to talk WandaVision here. And we have a really good question from the bearded one. We're going to answer this question, then we're going to get into what we thought about it. All right, so any theories on the clip we get after the 1950s sitcom in the end credits in WandaVision? I'm assuming the bearded one, you're asking specifically to episode 1, where we pull out, we get into the letterbox format from the 4x3, the old school kind of television show. It moves out and the camera kind of pulls out wide, and you see somebody with a remote control clicking in a modern time. It looks like they're in some sort of surveillance truck or something.
Right.
My theory is that Wanda's created a own reality bubble of herself, and she's in so much pain because Vision died. She's trying to fill that space of loss with this life, and maybe she's loved sitcoms in the past or something like that, and that's why this is happening. I think a lot of other people online have that take as well. I'm just interested to see how this plays out. Chris, do you have any other thoughts to that?
Yeah, so obviously, I don't know. I think that I'm really questioning are these characters really there too? Or are they all the figment of her imagination? Because from what we saw, and even from what we saw in the trailer, it's it seems that they're conscious. Of okay, something's wrong here. Monica Rambeau, in the second episode was she said, I don't know. What did she say? I don't know why I'm here either.
Yeah, she hesitated.
Like that. So is that, is she real or in Wanda's head? So there is something going on there to where I don't think we're supposed to know if it's simply just this is her in a delusional state, or maybe because of her powers in whatever she's going through,
Yeah.
She's kind of half in a delusional state, but yet like transitioning into different like dimensions, multiverse, you know. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's for sure.
I messed up. We should have first started with how we felt about it. So real quick, we'll each go over what we thought about it. Chris and I. We want to hear what you guys thought too. There are like Tom Tormey says he liked it a lot, or his kids did too. I enjoyed it. It's out there. I'll tell you what. I was smiling ear to ear. I had a grin for the first episode because I was so excited to see some MCU, and it was something we haven't seen before. It was completely different. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the little kind of just the way they produced the show, just like they did back in the 50s with I Love Lucy and all those throwbacks. I thought that was great. I thought the little inside jokes between them were hilarious. How they're not a normal couple, those kinds of things. The second episode, basically, I like how you saw just a moment of, oh, this isn't a sitcom. For example, when the boss again, spoilers, guys. You've been warned this whole show. But when the boss starts choking and you see Wanda's face and there's something, what's going on here? So that was your kind of, other than the end credits scene, that was one moment that was like, what's going on here? But then there were even more moments in the second episode where you had the color red helicopter. You had the radio talking to her, Wanda, what are you doing? What are you doing? You had Monica Rambeau's reaction. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to see where it goes next.
Yeah, man. Same here. Thoroughly enjoyed. Look, I went into this saying, okay, how are they going to do this? We knew what this was going to feel like to an extent. We knew that they were going to do this TV sitcom theme of, throughout the decades, but yet ended off as some kind of horror show. Like, and we get the context of these shows now, right? Where we know that the She-Hulk is going to be like that, kind of breaking the fourth wall, really wacky banter type comedy. So you think about how do they do these things where you take these characters and pull them in and out of different genres in and of themselves, and they've done a good job so far, where you take somebody like Spider-Man, who in his age has been in this very kind of fun environment in the Spider-Man films. You bring him into Infinity War and Endgame, and it's like dead serious, right? So you take this one. We haven't gotten to She-Hulk or anything like that yet. We start off with WandaVision, and we know that it's going to be a mix of things that have never been done before. And I thought they did it perfectly, like you said, to make it seem like it's very authentic to these old sitcoms. I mean, even the tonage in their voices. And I'm not talking about the dialogue, or it's literally how they're working their voices in their throat. And I'm sitting there watching it and I'm like, this is exactly how people acted back then. No, not acted like this is how people acted in the 50s. No, like acted. This is how actors acted back in the 50s and 60s. And you really think that it's happening. But then you take that and, like you said, you start bringing in and working in these elements of what's really going on and where the show is going. I thought they set it up perfectly, and it just goes to show that Feige and team and everyone that they continue to bring on board into these projects they're freaking geniuses. It's genius so far what they're doing. We haven't even, with 2 episodes, I don't even think we've seen the scale of where this is going to go.
No.
And
I'm sorry,
I do have one more thing. I was just going to compare it because I just started watching Doom Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Doom Patrol?
I've seen a couple episodes, and it's one I do want to watch. I just never find myself watching it.
Yeah, I'm on, like, I don't know. I watched like 4 episodes or 5 episodes, and don't get me wrong, it's enjoyable. The first episode I thought was all over the place, and then I kind of got in, and I'm like, okay. And it's kind of different what they're trying to do, but I just compare that to WandaVision. And it's really like, and I don't know if this is a good thing, but it's like going into, a fine dining restaurant, and you get that experience next to, going and driving up to a drive-thru at McDonald's for a Happy Meal. And it's not to say that you can't enjoy the Happy Meal.
Yeah.
But DC has given us Happy Meals. That's it. It's like, oh, hey, you know, oh, a little toy. Okay, dude.
Oh, that's cute.
MCU is fine dining, 5-star dining all the way. It's unfreaking believable. It blows my mind.
Here's the thing: what you said, that they're so creative. The Feige, everybody involved. They're also risk takers. This is taking a risk, right? This is like a format that hasn't been done before. And I'm gonna go the intonation of their voice, like it's gonna be a gas. Like that's a perfect example of what you're talking about. But I need you to do this. Being, us being in the music industry, we understand, we notice these things, but I don't know if anybody else noticed this, that you had the first episode, you had the big Marvel introduction, which always gets us hyped, every Marvel fan, right?
Yep.
But when it switches over to the 4x3 box, which is how we used to watch before the 16:9 flat screen TVs, the audio changes, it becomes compressed into sounding like it's coming from a little speaker. It's little subtleties like that make this show, like little things that they concentrate on, the little things. Like, and I'm looking at everything. I'm wondering why their address is 2800. I guarantee you it has meaning behind it, right? I guarantee you the little necklace she has around her neck has meaning to it. Like, these are the little things they do so well. I want to get to your guys' comments too. Okay, watching WandaVision, it was like watching 3 shows at once. So many things were going on. It was very creative and interesting. I shouldn't say anymore. You can, because everybody probably left that doesn't want to be spoiled. I think they did. Dan De La Torre, thank you for that. What else do we got? Steve Bradley. Wanda's under mind control. You guys remember the moment she's looking at the radio and somebody's trying to talk to her. That's like her face looks like she's in some sort of a trance. Not a bad call, Steve Bradley. Very interesting right
I like
there.
that.
P. Keel, why so much Stark and Hydra Easter eggs? It's almost like a tug of war, because you had the Stark commercial, the Stark toaster commercial in the first episode, the Hydra watch in the second episode. I don't know. Good point. I thought it was a precious show with seeds towards something potentially dark and gritty. The finale should be great. I mean, we're only 2 episodes in. Bearded One's looking towards the finale, but I agree. It's definitely going to be dark. And you could also, I mean, Marvel likes to play with us with their trailers. They like to try and, have us think, have us look a different way, and then they do something different. The trailer looks dark. It goes from lighthearted to what we saw in these first 2 episodes into something completely dark and out there. And it's gonna be fascinating. And I think the actor who plays the Vision, why can I not remember his name right now? But he said the explanation, it will be explained why he is back, why he is alive again. So Matt Stadahar. Definitely a show building towards something big. Each episode will get grittier. 100% agree with that. The neighbor says, well, hello. The neighbor says, well, hello, main character. I'm not sure what you mean, PKL, but yeah. Cosmic Tom basically says it. I think we all agree. She made this world to be with Vision because she was missing him so much. It was so painful, the loss of Vision. Thanos took everything from her. I think I agree 100% that that's where this is headed. It's going to be interesting to see how it got there. I mean, another thing that's like, what is this? Where the dude gets up from the sewer in a hazmat suit, and there's like bees or bugs around him, and they look at each other, like the 3 of them, like Vision and Wanda look at him, and then he looks back, and his face is silhouette, and then she goes no, and that whole rewind of them going back into and then she, oh my god. Show's amazing, guys. I'm super psyched about this. I can't wait till next Friday. Chris and I are going to try and watch each Friday. Unlike The Mandalorian, we are going to do our best to watch the show before the comic book canon show so we could talk about it. That was one thing we regret not doing last year with The Mandalorian. But anyways, looking like we're going to be wrapping the show up right now. We really appreciate all you guys hanging out, talking comic books, talking Disney Plus shows, talking all that good stuff. We enjoy doing it each and every week. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't shared it with your friends and loved one, please share it with your friends and loved ones. We're going to be doing big things. There's also going to be a contest, a giveaway, for our 400th subscriber and our 500th subscriber. Chris and I just really need to kind of bang our heads together and figure out how we're going to do this giveaway. But there are going to be 2 separate giveaways coming up. We're about 360 subscribers right now. Everybody who enters the 400 subscription giveaway will also be entered for the 500. So keep that in mind. But again, We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we look forward to each and every Friday with you guys talking about this hobby we all love. Chris.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks for joining, Jeff. Like he just said, just to echo that, be on the lookout for more information on how to enter our contest. So that means you got to be here every week, right? Also, guys, just keep being kind to each other. Keep supporting us. We appreciate you every week. And until next week, because I want to do another Q&A talking more about WandaVision. So all you guys, Friday, before we come here, I'll have my show. Let's get it all washed up. You can come hang out on my channel for my Friday Night Live. Then we'll come over here. I would like to do that every week until the finale. That'll be awesome.
Absolutely. This was fun for us this week. We will see you next week. You guys be safe, happy, and healthy. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.